When I first considered a call to the priesthood, I was in high school, and it wasn't something that was constantly on my mind, but every so often, people would come to me and suggest that I should look into the priesthood, and I kind of just ignored them. So it was there somewhere in the background of my mind in high school, especially junior and senior year. During my time in seminary, I've really just had the opportunity to dive in and grow in my relationship with the Lord. And as I grew in my identity as His beloved Son and He as my loving Father, I've also seen my call to the priesthood change and mature and become more real and more personal.
I first started listening to the voice of God calling me to the priesthood in my early 20s. I joined seminary because I thought God wanted me to do it. And so initially it was an act of trusting God to fulfill all my desires. But then as seminary went on, what I realized is that I was in seminary for Him and not for myself. And so what changed was now there was this conformity of will to not just trusting God, but wanting priesthood for myself as well. So God wanted it, showed me that He wanted it for me. And then I changed over time. I started to trust Him more and more to the point where now I actually myself desire priesthood.
What I've come to realize is that desire was always in my heart, like that desire to be a priest. But it was just through the circumstances, just through the influences of going through high school and whatnot, they would be diminished, or perhaps I would feel it again when I would go through prayer. And so the experience was always the Lord asking me just to respond to that desire that He's placed on my heart. There was just an increasing joy as I continued allowing myself to just kind of chase that desire that the Lord has placed there.
I know for me personally, it always came to the Eucharist and taking that time to serve most Sundays and seeing the priest lift the host up into the air. I just grew to really love the Eucharist. And the more I would talk about it with my friends, the more I would share how much my faith meant to me and how much the Eucharist meant to me, the more I felt that call to share it for the rest of my life, and especially in the form of the priesthood. And so kind of as high school went along and as I would talk more and more with my friends, that desire for the priesthood eventually grew and grew.